Good evening and salutations, my Wino fans. I gotta sit there and say, I enjoyed this episode. Victor, this guy really underestimated Ashland. And to be fair, this is one of those things where it's like, I haven't been watching the show that long, but I can imagine somebody like Victor didn't get to where he got to by being stupid. And yet, that's exactly how he's been going at Ashland. Um, Showing his hand, not having any proof. Um, Lauren is getting really worried about Michael. And, she talks to Kevin, and Kevin's like, there could be a thousand different things that's going on with him. Um, we just don't know at this point. And, Victor's in the office talking to Adam, like, he tells her, well, he tells him that, Victoria came in there and she was furious at me, and it's not good, you know. And the only way I'm going to be able to get her away from him, is by having proof, which I don't have. And I'm like, maybe you should have probably thought about that before you decide to pick a fight with him. Just just so. At some point, Lauren comes into the office and she's like, all right, I want to know where he's at. I want to know where my husband's at. And, Victor gives her some very vague answers. And it's very clear to Lauren that Victor has no clue, is in the dark, just like they are, on where Michael is. And, she says to him, like, she blames him, like, yo, if something happens to him, this is going to be on you. Victor's like, hey, listen, I hired him because he's the best at what he does. And, he's not just somebody that works for me. He's one of my friends. I'm going to sit there and move mountains for him. I don't know about that because he didn't really sound like he was that concerned. He seemed like he was, well, let's put it this way. He seemed like he was more concerned with the fact that Michael didn't find him the evidence rather than, is Michael actually okay? Yet he looks her straight in the face, talking about, "Oh, he's my friend, and I'll move mountains for him." Start moving, start moving him. What are you taking so long? She says like, "Yo, if this was Nikki, what would you do?" "I'll be doing the same thing that you would do." Yeah, okay, Victor. It was very pleasant talking to you. So she goes back, and Kevin's talking to Chloe, which I'm not gonna lie, I felt like just kind of shoehorned her in there. I could be wrong, but I felt like they just kind of shoehorned it in there. At first Chloe's that they're playing this whole thing down because at this point now Kevin's worried. And Chloe's like, oh, it could be a thousand different reasons. It could have, this, that, and the third. Like, you're just going to sit there and look silly, feel silly when he comes back. But I guess this is the next day. Um, and Lauren meets both of them, Chloe and Kevin. Kevin was sitting there looking, trying to find him, which came out, dead end. And Chloe kind of realized, like, you know what? Yeah, maybe I was kind of downplaying, his disappearance, but now, yeah, I don't know. Now Kevin just sit there and say, like, if it goes on any longer, he's going to sit there and try to get his cop buddies, involved in this because, it's not good, you know? I felt the conversation between Ashlyn and Nate to be very interesting. The reason why I sit there and say it was very interesting is because, as viewers, we're already sitting there looking at Ashlyn like he is. That's the right guilty. But I felt like there was so many times that Nate wanted to believe him. He wanted to believe him. He did not want to sit there and first of all, he didn't want to sit there and think of, the worst from him as far as like Ashlyn lying about something that big. you know, that big where it affects millions of people every day, you know? And of course, Ashton's like, why would I sit there and do something like that? Just don't. But, later on, when Nate was sitting there talking to Elaine, one of the things he said was he's very convincing. And you felt that when he was talking to Nate, you felt that like the look on his face, he wanted to sit there and believe him. But he's not an idiot. He did go there to, at the very least, hear him out. You know, problem is, it's like he can't tell one way or the other, and there's no proof to sit there and, well, make him guilty or innocent. Hell, even when Victoria comes in there, Victoria's like, yo, like, do you believe us? Like he wouldn't lie about something like that. And when Nate left, it seemed like Victoria got the sense that Nate believed him, and Ashland was like, "Yeah, I don't know about that." Um, Towards the end of the episode, Victoria, gives him the contract to sign, and he signs it. And I'm gonna be honest. Here's the thing. I guess the question is, what could they do? So let's just sit there and say they find the evidence, they find Michael Baldwin, and they're able to get all this stuff in order. Is that going to in any way get him out of the company? Is that going to get him out of the company at all? Because listen, I don't really know much about the business world and stuff like that, but I mean, could you really sit there and fire him for being, you know, a terrible person? I mean, yeah, he lied about a disease that should probably send him actually straight to hell. But I mean, you can't really fire someone for being, you know, an asshole. So, and that's the something, that's the thing that that Victor Smith they're worried about. He's like, at any point he could sit there and sign these papers. And again, I'm like, bro, you screwed up. And honestly, to tell you the truth, even he knows he screwed up. He knows he screwed up. And of course, when Nikki comes in there, because Nikki had a lovely conversation with the ever so lovely Victoria. And the minute she walked in there, you just, ugh, I, I can only imagine a woman like that just walking into the room and just taking out all the life and joy and just coming in a place with just dreaded energy. The way she talks to Nikki is like she doesn't even want to consider the possibility that he could be lying. That there's a ounce of doubt in her, and she just is defensive the entire time that she's talking to Nikki. And, towards the end, Nikki, she said a couple words and she walked off. And I'm like, I don't blame her. I mean, who the hell actually wants to sit there and be around someone like that with that type of energy for that long? You just, ugh. So she leaves and she goes to the office. 1 second. Oh, also, Victoria, because, she just gotta keep that same energy, practically tells Nikki that, you know, Victor pretty much lost her, is lost to her. And I'm like, all right, so you kicked your brother to the curb when he was in the ditch just trying to do the right thing. And when Nikki was like, listen, I don't like his methods, but you have to understand that he's only doing this to protect you. He's only doing this out of love. And when she said that, it was like, well, damn, like, really? You just kick your family to the curb that easy. I I'm sitting there thinking again, like, why is everyone sitting there trying to protect her? I don't feel like she deserves. I get it, she's family and everything like that, but bottom line, with family, you can love them, but sometimes you gotta love them from a distance. And that chick seems exactly the type of person that you gotta love from a distance. Like, maybe even another state kind of distance. Um, Nikki comes in there and tells, Adam and Victor, how Victoria's feeling and everything like that. And, Nikki's just like, yo, listen, what are you gonna do if you don't have that proof? How are you gonna sit there and repair your relationship with her? He wants that. He wants that, he's hurt at the fact that, she's treating him that way. But I don't know. Once again, I sound like a broken record, but you probably should have had your ducks in a row before you decide to go after him. Like a dumbass. I'm like, Victor, you better off going down there to Peru yourself with some bodyguards and getting the evidence that you need, because you sit there waiting and twiddling your thumbs and hiring more men to sit there and try to go after Michael. Like, good luck with that, bro. Meanwhile, this guy actually has half the control of your company, and you just twiddling your thumbs hoping for the best. You know what they say: when you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. Victor, might want to get on that damn plane, bro. The thing with Ashland sometimes is that whenever he's there trying to be convincing, there's times where he will sit there and slip up. He did that with Victoria. Victoria looked at him kind of funny when he was talking to Nate about, his accomplishments, and one of them being, marrying Victoria. And Nate was like, whoa, she's an accomplishment? Like, no, 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 no. He's not an accomplishment. I mean, an accomplishment is, merging those two companies together, I just, I just love her. I use poor words sometimes. We cool, right? Like, come on, bro. But I mean, I guess that's, can't have a character too perfect. Unfortunately, sometimes the way that they write these stories and they write these characters, it's like you gotta have other people. It's like where you have to dumb down somebody else to prop up another character. It's an issue. You gotta dumb down Victor to prop up Ashland. You gotta dumb down Anna to prop up Peter. It's like, and granted, this isn't the first time that they've done stuff like that, not just in soap operas, but just in shows and movies and things of that nature. And it's something that just drives me up a wall. And unfortunately, even soap operas are, you know, got to deal with that sometimes. Now, Nate does want to go to dinner with Elaine, and although he doesn't give her the details and stuff like that, she can tell that he's pretty torn. So she's like, you know what, listen, just for tonight, let's just have dinner or brunch or whatever the hell they're doing. And, just enjoy the night together. So, yeah. Uh, I'm not going to lie. I feel like, I wonder, because I haven't watched the show that long. And I remember the actress that played Elaine used to play Valerie on GH. And I remember just how underused she was. Just completely underused. Just wasted. And so when I found out that she was on YNR, I was like, you know what? Good for her. Hopefully they'll sit there and make her more useful on this show than they did on GH. So my question is, have they done that? Like, Okay. Do you feel like the Elaine character, did they make good use out of her, or do you feel like her talents is wasted? Anyway, with that being said, I think that's going to do it. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.